Start.
Okay, so we are going to learn modern yoga guru, second guru, Swami Shivananda. So this is the original Shivananda. Later we see another Shivananda now 106 years living. So many people have asked me, is it the same Shivananda? It's not. The Shivananda is, if you look at the Bihar school and all those things, you will find the origins here. Original name, Kuppuswamy, is from Tamil Nadu. Date of birth, 8th September 1887. Place of birth, Pattamadai. It's in Tamil Nadu. Profession, he was a medical doctor. Worked at Malaya. Those days, Malaysia was known as Malaya. And famous for all plantation. Malaysia, Singapore, these were famous for plantation. So many people from South India were taken for working in the plantation. And later stage, if you look at them today, most of the people who went, their children are doing very well in Singapore and Malaysia. So that is how, he also started working in Malaysia purely for the reason that these plantation workers basically were almost like, menial workers, like slaves. They were taken from South India because of poverty. So lot of health issues, lot of medical issues. So people literally volunteered to work in Malaysia to support Indians. He had a very profound knowledge of medicine. Started a medical journal called Ambrosia. It's very interesting to know the journal because a lot of information he wanted to uh, give it to the common man. Worked in a Malaysian hospital, treated poor people for free. The purpose was that it was more of giving support to those people and understanding their problems, understanding their health issues. When he saw people suffering, he wanted to know the cause. And what that one man's passion to understand what really is going through, why people are suffering so much. So he came back to India in 1923 in search of spiritual knowledge. Met his guru, Swami Saraswati Vishwananda, year 1923. So many places you may not find who is his guru. So I said for our learning, I need to find out all those things. 1936, set up Shivananda Ashram in Rishikesh. Divine Life Society, that was a group. If you look at most of the Divine Life Society operations are abroad. In 1948, maybe he would be the first person to go abroad for setting up Yoga Vedanta Forest Academy in United States. Taught yoga of synthesis. We will come to it. What is yoga synthesis? Yoga synthesis is Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. So while the exams come, they may ask, what is Shivananda Yoga? So just like in Aurobindo, when you learn, you will learn as integral yoga. Here it is yoga synthesis. According to Swami Shivananda, yoga means union of mind, body, spirit with the divine, which is nothing but a state of consciousness, both individual and universal, and a method to reach the goal. So now what happens is that, see, most of us live in our body consciousness. So even a small pain on the body, we literally lose our control. Knowing very well body is only, a consciousness. The mind consciousness is very strong to handle. Swami Shivananda's yoga, which he has significantly called the yoga of synthesis, affects the harmonious development of the hand, head, and the heart through the practice of karma yoga, jnana yoga, and bhakti yoga. So now this concept of hand, head, and heart has a lot of ramification in the management science also. They say if you look at people who work with you just like an helping hand, then what happens is that you treat them like machines. Okay. But you have to understand they are also a human being with the body and mind. So, typical example, when Henry Ford, the first manufacturing of Ford vehicle came, Ford was known for having the highest number of workers and lot of unrest. She made a very famous statement. All these years, I was asking for a pair of hands. Now I find it is coming with the body and mind. So the whole of change, how to treat employees, change from that. Five essentials of yoga, according to Swami Shivananda, are asana, pranayam, proper diet, ahar, proper relaxation, vihar, and Vedanta or Dhyana. So when we talk about Ashtanga Yoga, okay, this is more like a Chaturanga, Asana, Pranayam. So there, this also can come up. What are the five uh, elements of yoga according to Swami Shivananda? It is Asana, Pranayam, Ahar, Vihar, and Dhyan. Keep that in mind. Publication, Spirituality, 100 Basics of Spirituality. I picked up only some books. I think among the people who publish maximum books, among the yoga gurus, I think Shivananda will be the number one. Necessity of Guru, Control of Mind, Sadhana, Satsang and Swadhyaya, Meditation and Concentration, Mantra Japa, Chanting, Yoga Explained, Four Yoga, Raja Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma and Bhakti, Tantra Yoga, Nada Yoga, Kriya Yoga, etc. In Nada Yoga, you will find the Laya, all those things coming up. Kundalini awakening. Now, see the best part. People who studied with them themselves became very good yogic gurus. Swami Chidananda, Swami Satyananda Saraswati, Swami Vishnu Devananda. Everybody knows Iyengar's book. What is Iyengar's book called? First book, Light on Yoga. Okay. Same way, you will find Vishnu Devananda's first two volumes, which are exactly like Light of Yoga. Maybe explanations are much better. So all of them became great people thereafter. See that what is the strength of a guru? He leaves a legacy. Chinmayananda Saraswati started Chinmaya Mission. Sachidananda Saraswati founded Integral Yoga. Satyananda Saraswati founded Bihar School. Shantananda Saraswati, founder of Tamil of Fine Arts, Malaysia, Singapore. Shivananda Radha Saraswati, founder of Yashodhara Ashram, British Columbia, Canada. So you'll find a guru who actually created disciples who can take the tradition. Unlike today's days, each of the students created their own institutions, which became giant institutions. See, Satyananda Saraswati, Bihar School. So just to recap, went on a pilgrimage throughout India in pursuit of spiritual knowledge. That's how he met his guru. And when he met his guru, it seems in 5 minutes time, guru got up and he said that, yes, I was waiting for you. After deep study of yoga philosophy, he came with synthesis of yoga. He founded the Divine Life Society in 1936, also formed Shivananda Ashram in Rishikesh. Menon sir had gone to their ashram in Trivandrum. He wrote 200 books on yoga, philosophy, and various subjects. He founded the Indian traditional Ayurvedic pharmacy. He established All World Sadhu Federation in 1940. Just imagine at that time to get those people work on the logistics. So these were all the Renaissance movement before India won independence. Established Shivananda Eye Hospital in 1957. He attained his Mahasamadhi on 14 July 1963. Illness begins with I. Wellness begins with we. So what he is talking about in this is that people generally, if you look at life when we are children, from the age of 1, 2, 3, 4, till the age of 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, we are always dependent on our parents. So the first stage, look at it as a triangle. The first stage is dependency. So it is always you. The second stage, when children grow up, there is always a feeling that it is I. The second stage is independence. So it is I. Unfortunately, people do not grow beyond that level, will always have a problem. Successful people grow into the third level, which is known as interdependence. So there it is we. So if you are in the you are dependent. If you are in the uh, independence, you are always saying I. In I, all your ego, everything starts. He says successful people go into the level where it is interdependence or we. Those people are always given support. Just a second. Huh? They're always given support. And for them, everything is people are around them. So it is very important that ego is shred when you go into a very successful level. Successful people at a higher level do not have ego because for them interdependence. I depend on you, you depend on me, but we will all create interdependence. Put your heart, mind, intellect, and soul even to your smallest acts. This is the secret of success, which is actually what we say karma yoga, right? Shivananda, major thing serve, love, give, purify, meditate, realize, be good, do good. See God in every phase. Swami Shivananda says, 20th June, January 2011. See the famous work, Brahmacharya, all about Hinduism, concentration and meditation, sadhana, laya yoga. These are some of this work. Any questions before we take the next one? Gopinathan ji, welcome.
Just do a
Ah,
recap little fast because Gopinathan joined late.
okay. Gopinathan
It
ji,
is okay. It's okay, no problem. I'll catch up.
sure, sure. Any doubt? Feel free to write. Okay. Now we will go to the next one. We will go to slide is proper. Usha ji, Gopinathan ji. Okay. Dayanand. Okay. Be careful about the name. Dayananda is there, who is the guru of our honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. That is Dayananda. A is there. Here we are talking about the one who I would say the person who has literally changed the landscape of Indian education in a very good manner. Maharshi Swami Dayananda Saraswati. Any doubt, any idea about who's Dayanand Saraswati?
He started Arya Samaj, no, sir?
Yes, Arya Samaj, all the DAV schools, lot of things he has done. We'll be going into that. Dayanand Saraswati was an Indian philosopher, social leader, and founder of Arya Samaj, a reform movement of the Vedic Dharma. He was the first to give the call for Swaraj. Remember the first day when I spoke that most of these movements came because they found Indian heritage, Indian culture, Indian everything got. So he was the first person. As I said, these were all the forerunners before Gandhiji took it up in a very structured manner. He was the first to give the call for Swaraj as India for Indians in 1876. A call later taken up by Lokmanya Tilak, denouncing the idolatry and ritualistic worship. He worked towards reviving ideologies. So there was always a blind faith. The Vedic period was a blind faith where people never questioned what is right. They were forced to, the Brahmanic tradition were forced to accept because they always felt supremacy. They wanted to show their supremacy. So he was almost like a reformer who wanted to change that. 12th February he is born, 1824. Passed away in 30th October 1883. So not, maybe around 60, maybe, around 60 years that way. Was an important Hindu religious, but in that short span of time, why I'm mentioning is not a lifespan, but in that it's not the quantity of life, it's the quality of life. Was an important Hindu religious leader of time, founded Arya Samaj in 1875. So this, in our exams, it came Arya Samaj was founded by whom? They did not ask the year. Was a profound scholar of the Vedic lore and Sanskrit language. was the first to give the call for Swaraj as India for Indians in 1876. President of India S. Radhakrishnan called him as one of the makers of modern India. Early life and education. Dayanand Saraswati was born on February 12, 1824 in Tankara, Gujarat as Mool Shankar. Its name is Mool Shankar to Karshanji, Lalji Tiwari and Yashodabai. They were from a very, very rich family and influential Brahmin family. The Brahmin family, they followed the Shaiva tradition. The family being deep religious, Mool Shankar was taught religious rituals, piety and purity, importance of fasting from a very early age. Mool Shankar was attracted towards the spiritual realm after the death of his sister when he was 14 years old. Now, the questioning, life started changing, even though he was deeply rooted in all the rituals and everything. When his sister passed away, he thought, where is God? Okay, at a small age, my sister is passing away. I don't believe all that. He began asking questions about life, death, and the afterlife to his parents, to which they had no answers. On being asked to get married following societal traditions, those days people get married. Mool Shankar ran away from his home. He wandered all over the country for the next 20 years, visiting temples, shrines, and holy places. He met with yogis living in the mountains or forests, asked them of his dilemma, but nobody, we all know that what Buddha was asking, before he left his home. But nobody could provide him with the perfect answer. He had a very good memory, but by the time he was 14, he had learned by heart the Yajurveda, the scriptures, and the Upanishads. Karshanji's father wished that his son should follow his footsteps by becoming a devotee of Shiva. He therefore used to describe the greatness of Shiva every now and then to indoctrinate or change his son's mind. He would advise the boy to worship Lord Shiva and only then eat something on days of festival. Mool Shankar had a sharp intellect and an extraordinary memory. 1860, he met his guru, Swami Virajananda Dandisha. With a lot of difficulty, I found this picture because there was no photo available. I think this would have been a stamp, made by India government, 1778 to 1868. So Swami Virajananda Dandesha was not much information is about Virajananda. In the first meeting, Virajananda inquired about his objective and education. Upon learning that he had studied Kaumudi and Saraswata, the two most famous texts on Sanskrit grammar, he asked Dayananda to throw them into the river Yamuna and then come back. He said, now you have done all those things. Now you need to introspect, you need to reflect. And it was Virajananda who changed his name to Rishi Dayananda. Okay, so these are all very information about the Guru. They say information, what is not known to people, that's the kind of information I was trying to get. He believed that Hinduism has been corrupted by divergence from the founding principles of the Vedas, and that Hindus has been misled by the priesthood for the priest self-aggrandizement. The Brahminic tradition believed that people should treat them like God, which we have seen all over the world, all over India. So he wanted to change that. For this mission, he founded the Arya Samaj. Understand, the basic principle for Arya Samaj was to break the barriers of what Brahmin people are telling, blind faith. Do not ask that. If you ask any questions, you're going to be punished. So he was trying to break the blind faith, enunciating the 10 principles as a code for universalism called Krinvanta Vishwaryam. With these principles, he intended the whole world to be an abode for nobles. To be compassionate is not a joke. So he's more of a humanist. It's not that simple. One has to discover a certain bigness in oneself. That bigness should be centered on oneself, not in terms of money, not in terms of power you yield, not in terms of any status that you command in the society, but it should be centered on oneself. Very, very highly humanistic kind of person. Let us understand what are the 10 principles of Arya Samaj. God is the efficient cause of all true knowledge and all that is known through knowledge. God is existent intelligent, and blissful. So he is taking the level of God above these Brahmanic people and positioning God for everything. He is formless, omniscient, just merciful, unborn, endless, unchangeable, beginningless, unequaled. Saw the word merciful. Okay. Otherwise, every time anything is done, the priest, the Brahmanic tradition will give you fear. So what they say, unknowingly, whatever you commit is not a sin. So he was trying to break those things, saying that merciful, unborn, endless, unchangeable, beginningless, unequal, the support of all, the master of all, omnipresent, immanent, unaging, immortal, fearless, eternal, and holy, and the maker of all. He alone is worth of being worshipped. You cannot look at idols, you cannot look at, there is a force, there is an essence of everything. He's trying to say that essence you should. So that is why he's very radical. The Vedas are the scriptures of all true knowledge. It is paramount duty of all Aryas to read them, teach them, recite them, and to hear them being read. So see that in this, look at Arya Samaj. They were talking about the original knowledge which Vedas are giving, which over a period of time, the Brahmanic tradition, many of them try to change it. One should always be ready to accept truth and to renounce untruth. All acts should be performed in accordance with dharma, that is, after deliberating what is right and wrong. The ethical part, the moral part, the dilemma part. Okay. The prime object of the Arya Samaj is to do good to the world, that is, to promote physical, spiritual, and social good of everyone. Our conduct towards all should be guided by love, righteousness, and justice. We should dispel avidya, ignorance, and promote vidya, knowledge. No one should be content with promoting his or her good only. On the contrary, one should look for his or her good in promoting the good for all. One should regard oneself under restriction to follow the rules of a society calculated to promote the well-being of all. While in following the rules of individual, we are all and should be free. Just imagine, these are people who said that respect everybody. Every community has its own way of dressing up, food habits, eating habits. However, the practitioners later changed a lot of things. But when you look at Arya Samaj, we should not feel it as another Hindu outfit trying to put in. See the original principles. How much principles versus practice? It's a question which we all know. Arya Samaj, let us understand the background of what Arya Samaj was established on 7th April 1875 at Mumbai, India. The purpose was in moving the Hindu Dharma away from the fictitious belief. Keep that word in mind. Fictitious means false belief and back to the teaching of Veda. Original Veda does not talk about dogmatism, does not talk about superstition. Everything has a logic. The goal of the Arya Samaja has always been Krinvantu Vishayam Arya. That is to make the world noble for everybody, irrespective of caste, community, creed, should be happily living. The word Arya means a noble human being. One who is thoughtful, charitable, who thinks good thoughts and does good actions. He or she is an Arya. Swami Dayanandaji's teaching became more and more effective and his followers grew. After the creation of the first Arya Samaj in Mumbai on April 7, 1875, others began to be formed where Swamiji went. The society gained strength in Punjab, the large in the large as well as small towns and villages of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and Rajasthan. It also got a strong foothold. When there were enough Samajas all over the country, they were brought under the central institution in the different provinces. Today, the Arya Samaj is alive and sounds in all parts of the world, in Australia, among various Samaj organizations, the Vedic Pradinidhi Sabha, Arya Samaj of Australia, incorporated doing marvelous work, promoting the teachings of Swami Saraswati, Dayananda Saraswati. When one Arya is alone, he should do self-reading. It's a powerful word which I picked up. When two, they should discuss and ask questions, answer within themselves. When more than two, then they should be doing satsang and read any chapter of Vedas. What he's trying to tell is that more and more people can become argumentative. The moment you go back to Vedas, you will know what is the real truth. 1846, engaged but did not get married, left home. 1869 won a debate against 27 pundits and 12 experts. And that time, he was not even named as Dayanand. Okay, 1876, first Indian to call Swaraj India for Indians. I have not come to preach any new dogmas or religion, nor to establish a new order, nor be a proclaimed new messiah or pontiff. I have only brought before my people the light of the Vedic wisdom which has been hidden during the centuries of India's thraldom. Thraldom means a lot of people have attacked, changed the. Then the Saraswati ji reminded his countrymen of the egalitarian, advocating equal rights for all approach of the Vedas. Because he said he believed that Vedas are talking that. He said that Smritis and Puranas misled people into such practices as untouchability, Brahmin, Vaishya, Sudra. Maybe they were looked at more from the occupation point of view. And untouchability was not there, maybe. He was primarily responsible for reviving the ancient Indian education system of Gurukula, where students from different strata of society studied together under one guru without class or caste discrimination. Our Vedas are the earliest books. Hinduism is the most ancient of all religions that has survived. Institution building. Maharshi Dayanand University, Rohtak, Haryana. Maharshi Dayanand Saraswati University, Ajmer, Rajasthan. DAV University in Jalandhar. All are named after him. 800 schools. Can you believe? 800 schools and colleges under DAV College Managing Committee, including Dayananda College at Ajmer. Industrialist Nanji Kalidas Mehta built the Maharshi Dayanand Science College and donated it to the Education Society of Porbandar after naming it Dayanand Saraswati. In 1883, okay, see the humanism. In 1883, the Maharaja of Jodhpur, Jaswant Singh Ji, invited him, Dayanandas, to stay at his place. The Maharaja was eager to become Dayananda's disciple and to learn his teachings. What happened at that time? Maharaja was attracted to a dancer in the building, in the court. Her name was Nani Jan. Dayananda kept on asking the Maharaj, you should not be, keeping this girl at all because, it is not against, it is not in favor of your principle. And it is, if you want to be my disciple, you have to follow Dharma like a true Arya. Dayanandji's suggestion offended Nani, who decided to take revenge. So this lady, coming from a different background, for her, it was a livelihood. So what she did, she bribed Dayananda's cook Jagannath to mix small pieces of glass in his nightly milk. Every day he used to take milk before sleeping. Dayananda was served glass-laden milk. Every day, little milk. It was powdered, the glasses were powdered, which he promptly drank, becoming bedridden. After some time, his intestine, esophagus, everything got spoiled. And he started having pain in his food pipe, windpipe, everywhere. By the time the doctors arrived, his condition became worse. Bleeding, all the things. But he knew what has happened. So, what he did, he called this person who was giving him milk. And he said, I know what you have done. Okay, the moment if I tell about you, you are going to be punished. I am ready to accept death. But you forgive yourself for what you have done. You leave this place and go somewhere. Otherwise, your life is going to be. That is the kind of humanism he showed. He passed away on the morning of Diwali, 30th October 1883, chanting mantras. Dayanand Saraswati breathed his last at Binai Koti near Ajmer. His ashes were scattered at Ajmer in Rishi Udyan as per his wishes. Books and publication. Dayanand Saraswati wrote more than 60 works, 16 volumes explanation of the 6 Vedangas, an incomplete commentary on the Ashtadavya, Panini's grammar. You know Panini, when you read Patanjali, you will find Panini. Several small tracts on ethics and morality, Vedic rituals and sacraments, and a piece on analysis of rival doctrines such as Advaita Vedanta, Islam and Christianity. See that humanism. Everybody has to be. He has written on Islam and Christianity. Some of his major work include the Satyarth Prakash. This also came as a question. What is his major work? Satyarth Prakash, Satyarth Bhumika, Sanskara Vidhi, Rigvedadi Bhashya, Bhumika, Rigvedada Bhashyam, and Yajurveda Bhashyam. Summarizing, date of birth, February 12, 1824, place of birth, Tankara, Gujarat, parents, Karshanji, Yashodabai, education, self-taught, movement, Arya Samaj, Shuddhi movement, back to the Vedas, religious view, Hinduism, publication, Satyarth Prakash. Remember this name. For us, that came as a question. Satyarth Prakash. Okay. Death, October 30, 1883. Place of birth, Ajmer. These are some of the books which I am having. The Light of Truth. Know about Dayanand Saraswati. Then Swami Satyananda Saraswati. Satyarth Prakash. If you want to know more, from wherever I have taken, the references are Wikipedia, The Light of Truth, Swami Dayananda Saraswati biography, life history, facts and contribution, Swami Dayananda Saraswati, yourdictionary.com. Okay.
Gopinath, any
An-
questions, please?
Any question, any doubt? What you can do, no? Whenever you want to read, no? I tell this, because I teach in college. Most of the people don't have time today. 6 days college. So you can go to book summary. It'll be hardly 8 to 10 pages. So whichever book you find you want to read, no, there'll be PDF version of book summary. Because whatever excites you can read. Now, so many things are there. One is exam point of view, but keep in mind whenever you get time to read, go to book summary, type the name and say book summary, PDF version. It may be 8 to 10 pages, you will know. And later stage, if it excites you, you can read. So we have completed 2. Okay, so 2 and 1, 3. Now, next time we will do Ramana Maharshi, we will do Aurobindo, and we will do uh, Vivekananda.
Madhavdas.
Madhavdas Vivekananda. Madhavdas is the shortest.
Swami Vivekanand.
Swami Vivekananda, yes. Okay. Anything you would like to discuss? If not the topic, we can generally discuss.